Hi guys, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. I'm so glad that this is a sit-down review. Those of you who've been watching my channel lately, you know I've just completed 31 days of horror and it killed me. But I'm back to life, and today I'm going to talk about one of the films that I was so excited to watch during the month of October, but I had to keep waiting because of 31 days of horror, so I'm sorry if this is late. I did tell you I would give you a review on Creep 2. And you guys know, if you watched my review on the first Creep, I fucking love this movie. Something that someone brought to my attention recently is that maybe I liked it a lot because I went in with a blind viewing, like not knowing anything about the movie and just kind of watching it on the whim on Netflix, the first one. And I thought about that a lot. And I do think that that definitely has something to do with how much I like the film. It's kind of similar to They Look Like People. That film really blew me away, and it doesn't blow much people away, but it was because it was such a blind viewing, and it's more of an indie film, so it's kind of hit and miss with people. The reason I do love Creep, the Creep series, I guess now I can say, the Creep and Creep sequel, is because of the dark humor, I think. I just love that dark, weird, awkward humor where you don't really know if someone's joking or not, and it's kind of a bit of both. I love that. This is my humor down pat. In American horror, a lot of the humor really does not match my taste, but these films are just like spot on. And I know they're not meant to be funny. It's not a comedy. It's just so weird and awkward, and it just makes me feel so happy. And that is the reason I really loved the first one. Obviously the characters were amazing. If you haven't seen Creep 1, I do suggest you watching that completely first, because it is a huge spoiler in Creep 2. It shows the actual end scene. So I would really recommend you checking out the first one. I would advise you guys to be very careful if you're watching this, because if you haven't seen the first one, this will definitely have spoilers. In the first one, you do not know much about Mark Duplass's character. I hope I'm saying his name right. And I feel like more was revealed in the second one. I don't know if any of you guys picked this up, but his name is Aaron in the second one, where his name was Joseph in the first one. And spoiler alert, if you have not seen the first one, no spoilers for the second one, just if you have not seen the first one, his name actually is Aaron because that's his victim from the first movie, which I thought was quite clever, because in this film it kind of reveals that he kind of takes a bit of every kill with him. So it was quite cute, and I don't know why I call it cute. See, that's how fucked up I am. I think that this is like a cute story. That's just a cool Easter egg, and I don't think a lot of people picked that up, or I'm sure a lot of you guys did, but his character's just so overwhelming that you don't really need to know his name, especially because in these films, there's only a couple of characters, obviously. So finally, I'm getting to it. This film's storyline is about his character once again meeting up with someone randomly on the internet. The setup this time is so different because the person who's coming to meet him, and this is a girl called Sarah, who is actually kind of doing her own web series online where she talks to kooky people. Think Louis through. It's kind of like conversations with kind of weird, different people. I'm really trying not to say quirky too much, I'm sorry. And this is where the storyline gets very interesting, because she is getting up to her last episode in the series. She's realized that her series sucks, and she's like, let's go out with a bang. So she doesn't tell anyone where she's going. It's a really good alibi for the film, that is. And she kind of just goes all out for this one last episode. So when she meets him straight off the bat, he tells her that he is a serial killer and he wants to make a documentary. The film just takes on a shape of its own from there. It is an hour and 20 minutes, I believe. It felt like that. Like, it felt so quick. I was so comfortable with the characters, and I could have watched this as a TV show, but I think that's why it's such a gem to me, because it is so short. I will say, with this movie compared to the first one, I prefer the first one, definitely, but this film was still ace. But the arc of the story was a little bit different, because the situation and what is revealed, it's kind of a little bit up and down, and you're not really sure where it's going, which is why I love these films. Completely unpredictable. But it is a great film, a great payoff. If you love the first one, like I did, you will love the second one, hands down. I've heard people say that they like the second one more, which I'm really interested why, because I feel like they're such similar stories, and obviously he's a similar character. So I'm not really sure how, but let me know down below. I'd love to hear why. I did really like the situation set up. I thought it was very clever. It didn't leave any holes why, you know, why she didn't tell someone where she was going or why she was there and she really wanted to stay with it. So I really love that. Obviously this film is found footage. I feel like I don't really need to tell you about that. And after watching it for, you know, 5-10 minutes, you completely forget that it's found footage. That's how gripping these characters are. DeBlas's character is probably one of my favorite characters of all time in horror, thriller, whatever you call this. And seriously, if you could find that mask, I would pay big money for that, that wolf, what does he call it? The baby wolf mask. I would love that hanging on my wall. That would be a masterpiece. I think that that would have made the best Halloween costume as well. So if anyone wins that, let me know. Overall, this film really had me floored just because it was the return of such a beloved character for me, and it was just a really good time, and I knew it was gonna be great, and I'm glad it was. I'm glad it delivered. I was a little bit scared when I heard that Creep 2 was coming out, and for that I'm gonna give it an originality score of 6. I do think the first one was quite original with, like, I don't know, not really the storyline, but just the characters. I'm gonna give this one a 6 because it is found footage. The character setup is quite similar. The situation may be a little bit different, so it's like a little bit, you know, a 6. I'm going to give it a scare score of, I don't know, it's not a very scary movie. I guess like a 4. And for my personal score, I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. I fucking love this film. Please, if you like the first one, check out the second one. And if you haven't seen either, check them out. You're in for a wild ride. A lot of people don't love these films like I do, but I think that these films are just gems, and I was very, very happy to have this in my October viewing. Anyway, that's it for me, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky, guys. Bye!